What's going on? What's going on? I want to talk about pain. I want to talk about pain because, everybody experiences pain, right? But oftentimes we don't want to acknowledge it, especially men. Don't let it be some past pain, some trauma. We don't want to acknowledge it because we don't want to feel like we're weak. We don't want to enter into a space of vulnerability. But here's the thing. First of all, number one, just because you don't acknowledge it doesn't mean it's not real. So you don't have to acknowledge it for it to be real. But number two, if you don't acknowledge your pain, whether it's some trauma or somebody's inflicting pain right now, if you don't acknowledge it, then you lose the ability to control it. See, as soon as somebody puts your name to something, as soon as somebody comes for you, as soon as somebody attacks you or whatever it is, and they put your name to it, you have legal right to take ownership. And then if you take ownership, then guess what you do? You take control. And with control comes power. Right? So if you want to take ownership of this infliction, this pain, and then you want to throw it away, you have every right to. You can't throw away what you don't own, though. Right? So pain is something that we all got to experience. But how you deal with the pain is going to be key, because deflecting, right, blaming or throwing it at somebody else is not going to do anything for you. It's not going to do anything for you. You still got to experience it. And so I'm saying experience that pain. See what you can learn from that pain. Take ownership of that pain, right? Take power and then throw it in the trash. Throw it in the trash, right? Here's the thing. When you're renting a house, you don't own this house, so you can't really do anything with it. You can't put a fence without somebody's permission, the landlord's permission. You can't paint walls without somebody's permission. You're subject to the landlord, to the owner. But see, when you own your house, right, you can do whatever you want. You can do whatever you want. So you can look at this house and say, I don't like that kitchen. I'm going to tear it down and make a new kitchen. Fine, do so. That's the same thing that with pain, right? If you take ownership of it, if somebody has put your name to it, and you take ownership of it, now you can do whatever you want with it. It is your property now. Don't let somebody have control of your pain. In other words, don't let somebody control you to the point where they can manipulate you and have you lacking absolute emotional stability. Right? You have no emotional control because someone can say whatever they want. They can say whatever they want. They can do whatever they want, and you'll just lose absolute control. Don't give somebody that power. They come for you. You take that pain and say, I own it now. Now they're talking. They keep going on and on and on, but it doesn't matter. You own it now. And now you can do whatever. You can set a match to it and burn it. But you can't do that if you don't take ownership. And I'm saying ownership is power. We know this in the physical realm, right? We know that you own a car, so you can drive it. You don't have to take it back to the dealership unless you're making payments to which you really don't own it, right? But you paid it off. That's your car. You got a house. That's your house. You can do whatever you want with it. Same thing with pain. You take control of it, right? You take ownership of it, and now you can do whatever you want with it. You can throw it in the trash, and it doesn't have to affect you anymore. So many people are so affected by things they shouldn't be affected by, but it's because everyone else has the power. And so all they got to do is say one thing, and you'll lose absolute emotional control. It doesn't take much. You're just a roller coaster of emotions. And I get it, but I'm telling you, view it differently. View it differently. Take your power back. Take ownership. It doesn't matter what they say. It doesn't matter what they try to provoke out of you. Take ownership, and then you decide what you want to do. What can you learn from it? Take all the power you can from it and throw it away. And then when somebody comes back with the same thing, it doesn't matter anymore. It doesn't matter. But so many people, you guys are just, someone is controlling you. And then what happens is when you lose control, you're blaming them. And I'm telling you, the reason why you're blaming and you're deflecting is because you're not taking responsibility. And I'm saying responsibility is a good thing, because when you take that ownership, you have power. If you give someone, especially in a marriage, I mean, let's be real. There's a lot of people struggling in marriages because the husband can say one little thing and you lose control. The wife can say one little thing and you lose control. And it's like, come on now. Come on now. They can't have that much power. Now, I'm not talking about a good marriage. I'm just saying marriages where you might have to work on some things. I'm saying oftentimes working on some things together is not even the first step. You got to work on not letting everything affect you and ask yourself, why is it affecting you? Why are certain things still affecting you? And it's because you've never taken that power. Everyone else has the ability, so much to the point where you're so triggered. You're so triggered. Everything is a trigger for you. And I'm like, a trigger? How can somebody trigger you when you own it? Right? Like, how can somebody provoke you in your own house? How can somebody upset you in your own house? Think about that. Like, they come into your house and they upset you. No, get out of my house. Like, what are you talking about? Get out of my house. You don't, what? No, I own this. I heard what you said. I got you. I see what you tried to do. I took it though. You put my name to it. Now I have legal right to this. And that pain, I'm going to turn it into my power. Step. Be out. Time to go. Stand tall, right? And always be powerful, be purposeful, be persistent. Peace.